أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رضي الله عنا وعنكم وعن كافة المؤمنين ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا رضي الله عنا وعنكم وعن كافة المؤمنين. So Imam Ghazali said that there are three pillars of shukr. So the first pillar is al-ilm. And he said al-ilm is al-asl, the foundation. Then he said the second pillar is al-hal, which is grounded on al-ilm. And then the third pillar is al-amal. So he's explaining why ilm is the most important foundation of gratitude, thankfulness to Allah Ta'ala. So this is a very philosophical, very deep analysis of what shukr is about, what gratitude to Allah Ta'ala is about. So he explained that there are so many things in nature we use, we benefit, they serve us, we enjoy. And he said one should be aware that they are determined by Allah Ta'ala to serve us, to benefit us. So it is not their intention to serve us, but this is how they are programmed, pre-programmed, determined by Allah Ta'ala. That's why they are serving us. And he said, if they are left alone by themselves, they are not going to help us or serve us. But this is how Allah Ta'ala created them. So you should recognize that all these blessings that you enjoy in this world are not by the natural objects or animals, but for the sake of their creator. And he gave the example of the treasurer. So he said that if a treasurer pays you money, this is not because of himself. This is not because of his generosity. This is not because he loves you, but because the owner of the treasury, the king, ordered him to pay you. That's why the treasurer is paying you this money. But if the treasurer is left alone, he wouldn't pay you anything. He doesn't know you, right? So this is comparable to the nature. So if let's say animals give us milk, it's not because they are so generous to us, they love us, they want to help us. No, this is how Allah Ta'ala programmed them. So they are, this is how they give us milk. So what's important is to recognize their creator who made them provide you all these things. So a tree, let's say, is giving you fruits. It's not because that tree loves you, it knows you, or it wants to help you. No, this is how Allah Ta'ala programmed the tree to offer you the fruits. So you should recognize the creator who made them produce all these good things, and also who made them to offer them to you. So that kind of knowledge is essential for shukr. فإن عرفت الأمور كذلك, so if you understand the things this way, فقد عرفت الله وعرفت فعله. So then you know Allah and you know His actions. So sometimes His actions becomes a curtain to Himself. If you don't recognize that what's happening is by Allah Ta'ala, then the events that are happening around you becomes a wall or a curtain between you and Allah Ta'ala. You get blinded by the tree. You think tree gave me this. You get blinded by the chicken. You think chicken gave me the egg. You get blinded by the cow. You think cow gave me the milk. But in reality, those things should be like a window. You should see what's behind the chicken, who created the chicken, who made the chicken give you the egg. So chicken is a fi'l of Allah. Chicken and the egg, these are fi'l of Allah Ta'ala. These are actions of Allah Ta'ala. So He created them. He made them, produce eggs. And the same way, the tree and the fruits it produces, these are fi'l of Allah Ta'ala. So from this fi'l, you should go to the creator. Or in other words, from athar to mu'assir, from the art to the artist. Some people, they get blinded by the artwork. They forget the artist. But every artwork stands for the artist. Every object stands for its maker. When you see a car, there is a maker for the car. There is a company, there is a manufacturer, there is engineers, who made the car. So the car stands for its maker. And the same way, all the objects and all the events that are taking place in nature around us, they all stand for their maker. So this is what I call semiotic function. Because everything is an ayah, like a traffic sign showing their creator. So if you look at the blessings that you have this way, all these blessings are actions of Allah Ta'ala, creation of Allah Ta'ala. So this is how you get to know Allah and get to know His actions. وَكُنْتَ مُوَحِّدًا. So if you recognize this, that the ultimate source of all actions are Allah Ta'ala, not the tree, not the chicken, then you become a true muwahhid, true monotheist, who believes in the oneness of Allah Ta'ala. So there are levels of analysis, like you can say tree gave me the fruit, but then you can say the farmer planted the trees, the farmer gave me the fruits. But then ultimately, it's Allah Ta'ala who created the farmer, who created tree. Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi explains this with a story of ants. So there were some ants watching somebody who's writing. The ant that was closest to the hand of the writer, he said, the pen is writing. The ant, the closest ant to the pen, it said the pen is writing. But there was another ant a bit farther away. And it saw from a broader perspective, it said, no, you are wrong. It is not the pen, but the hand is writing. And there was another ant, it was a bit farther. It said, no, both of you are wrong. It is not the pen, it is not the hand, but the arm is writing. And there was another ant, it was a bit farther away. It said, no, it's not the pen, it's not the hand, it's not the arm, but the man is writing. So you see that this is chain of causality. All of them are right, but depending on different levels of analysis. So the ultimate fa'il, al-fa'il al-mutlaq, is Allah Ta'ala. Like all these causes, they are right, they contribute to something that's happening. There is end cause and there's prime cause. The first cause of the causes. So this knowledge is necessary for someone so that he develops gratitude and shukr in itself and becomes a true muwahid. وَقَدَرْتَ عَلَى شُكْرِهِ. And then after you recognize that all these blessings that you have around you, they are not produced by the last causes, but there's a creator for all these causes who programmed all these things to offer you all these blessings and gifts. Then you can show gratitude to him. بل كنت بهذه المعرفة بمجردها شاكرا. Even more, simply by recognizing that this blessing comes to you from Allah, who's the prime cause. This knowledge, this recognition is in itself a shukr. Without any amal, without anything else, this is considered the foundation of shukr itself, recognizing the giver, recognizing where all these gifts, blessings, success, achievements, happiness, wealth, health, all these things are coming to you. What's the ultimate source of everything that you have? Recognizing this is true tawheed, and this is the foundation of shukr, the essence of shukr. ولذلك قال موسى عليه السلام في مناجاته. This is the reason why Musa عليه السلام said in his prayers, supplications, إلهي خلقت آدم بيدك وفعلت وفعلت فكيف شكرك. So he said, oh my Lord, you created Adam, you did this, you did that. How can I thank you? فقال, Allah Ta'ala responded back to him, علم أن كل ذلك مني. So if you know that everything that you have is from me, if you know this, then this becomes shukr. Recognize that everything is from me. That's shukr. فكانت معرفته شكرا. So this shows that knowledge of everything, knowing that everything is ultimately by Allah Ta'ala is gratitude, shukr to him. Yes. This. فإذا لا شكر إلا بأن تعرف أن الكل منه. Therefore, there is no shukr except by recognizing that everything from Allah Ta'ala, ultimately from Allah Ta'ala. فإن خالجك ريب في هذا ولم تكن عارفا لا بالنعمة ولا بالمنعم فلا تفرح بالمنعم وحده بل بغيره. فبنقصان معرفتك ينقص حالك في الفرح. فإن خالجك ريب في هذا, if you get confused because of a doubt about this, that everything comes to you ultimately from Allah Ta'ala, of course through some means, through some mediators, not directly, Allah Ta'ala uses some means, employs some other people, some natural objects, some animals, some trees. These are all employees of Allah Ta'ala, servants of Allah Ta'ala. He's the one who made them serve you. So if you get confused about this, لم تكن عارفا, so you are not cognizant, you are not knowledgeable. لا بالنعمة ولا بالنعم بالمنعم. يعني you don't know what's the true meaning of the ni'mat, the gifts you have, ولا بالمنعم, and the giver. You don't know the real meaning of the gift you have, and also the gift giver. You don't know them, you didn't understand them. فلا تفرح بالمنعم وحده بل بغيره. So in that case, because you don't recognize that like all these gifts that come to you are ultimately from Allah Ta'ala, you don't feel happiness because of the gift giver alone, but you feel happiness because of something else. Because you don't know that all these things come to you by the creation of Allah Ta'ala, by the actions of Allah Ta'ala. So you feel happy, you feel thankful to other things, not the ultimate cause, but other things, who are mediators, who are means to bring God's gift to you. Of course, you have to thank the mediators, but without forgetting to thank to the ultimate giver. I mean, you thank to the mailman who brings you the mail, but at the same time, don't forget the one who sent you the letter. I mean, so those who forget Allah Ta'ala, they thank to the mailman, not the person who sent the letter. فبنقصان معرفتك ينقص حالك في الفرح. Because of the lack of your knowledge, because of your deficiency of your knowledge, your happiness is reduced. وبنقصان فرحك ينقص عملك. And because of the deficiency in your joy, your practice also is reduced. So the problem in your knowledge is reflected directly on your spiritual state, and the problem in your spiritual state is reflected directly on your actions, because these are all connected to each other: knowledge, spiritual state, and practice. If there is problem in one, the others are influenced by this. فهذا بيان الأصل. So Imam Ghazali says this is the explanation of the very foundation of shukr. So the very foundation of shukr is knowledge. العلم. الأصل الثاني, the second foundation, الحال المستمدة من أصل المعرفة, the spiritual state which is derived from the foundation of knowledge, which originates from the foundation of knowledge. So the knowledge gives rise to a particular type of spiritual state. The knowledge that you recognize everything that's given to you is ultimately a gift of Allah Ta'ala. That kind of knowledge changes your spiritual states and gives you a new spiritual state, which is al-farah. Huwa al-farah. It means joy, spiritual joy. When you know that everything is given to you is ultimately by Allah Ta'ala, this gives you farah, happiness, joy, inside of your heart. Al-farah bil-mun'im, joy, happiness, contentment with the gift giver, who is Allah Ta'ala, مع هيئة الخضوع والتواضع, and it's coupled with ultimate humility and and ultimate submission, submission and humility towards Allah Ta'ala. So this knowledge brings you a joy coupled with submission to Allah Ta'ala and humility with Allah Ta'ala. So it removes kibir, arrogance, and also it removes rebellion towards Allah Ta'ala. So recognizing that all the gifts and blessings that you have are given to you ultimately by Allah Ta'ala. So this is how knowledge changes you, transforms you. وهو أيضا في نفسه شكر على تجربه. This is also in itself a kind of shukr to Allah Ta'ala, because you feel happy. كما أن المعرفة شكر. This is similar to like knowledge being shukr in itself. ولكن إنما يكون شكرا إذا كان جامعا شروطه. But it becomes shukr if all the prerequisites are provided. If all the conditions are provided, then it becomes shukr. This joy, with the al-mun'im, with the gift giver. وشروطه أن يكون فرحك بالمنعم لا بالنعمة ولا بالإنعام. So the most important prerequisite is that your joy, your happiness, your contentment must be with the gift giver, not by the gift, nor by the act of receiving the gift. So your joy should be with the gift giver, who's Allah Ta'ala, the one who gave you the gift, not by the gift. ولعل هذا مما يتعذر عليك فهمه. So this may be a bit difficult for you to understand. How come like I become happy with the gift giver, but not by the gift, or by the act of getting the gift? فنضرب لك مثلا فنقول. So he says, let me explain this to you by an example. الملك الذي يريد الخروج إلى سفر فأنعم بفرس على إنسان يتصور أن يفرح المنعم عليه بالفرس من ثلاثة أوجه. So suppose that there is a king, there is a sultan, there is a malik. He wants to go to a campaign, to a war, and he gifts a horse to a person. So the person who received the gift of horse, he may be happy from three perspectives, or from three dimensions, or from three reasons. So one aspect that may make him happy would be أن يفرح بالفرس من حيث أنه فرس. He may be happy that, oh my God, I got a good horse. So he's happy with the horse. وأنه مال ينتفع به. Wow, this is a nice property. ومركوب يوافق غرضه. And I can ride it, I can get on it, and I can use it the way I like it. وأنه جواد نفيس, is running very fast, it's beautiful. وهذا فرح من لا حظ له في الملك. This is the happiness, this is the joy of somebody who has no chance of benefiting from the sultan, from the malik, because his focus is on the horse. He forgot the one who gave him the horse, just focusing on the horse. بل غرضه الفرس فقط, because his ultimate attention is focused on the horse. ولو وجده في صحراء فأخذه. So if he finds this horse in the desert, he would take it. لكان فرحه مثل هذا الفرح. So his happiness with the horse would be the same, whether he got it as a gift from the king or he found it in the desert. His happiness would be the same. The focus is on the horse. الوجه الثاني, the second aspect that may make him happy, his happiness may derive from another aspect, أن يفرح به لا من حيث أنه فرس بل من حيث يستدل به على عناية الملك به وشفقته عليه واهتمامه بجانبه. And he might be happy by thinking that the fact that the king gave me this horse, it demonstrates that the king loves me. The king pays attention to me. The king wants to take care of me. حتى لو وجد هذا الفرس في صحراء أو أعطاه إياه غير الملك لكان لا يفرح به أصلا. So if he finds the horse in a desert or someone else other than the king gives him a horse, he wouldn't be that happy. He's happy. Why? Because the one who gave the horse is the king. So he's happy because he received the horse from the king. لاستغنائه عن الفرس أصلاً. So he doesn't care much about the horse. He focuses on the fact that this is given by the king. So he's focusing on the receiving, not the gift, on receiving the gift. واستحقاره له بالإضافة إلى مطلوبه من نيل المحل في قلب الملك. So he doesn't give any value to the gift. He gives value to the fact that it is the place through which he can reach to the heart of the king. So this horse is a means for him to reach to the heart of the king. So his focus is on the act of gift giving, act of receiving the gift from the king, not the horse. الوجه الثالث, the third aspect that may make the one who gets this horse from the king happy, أن يفرح به ليركبه ويخرج في خدمة الملك. So this person he may become happy because he can ride this horse and travel with the king, which will allow him to serve the king. ويحتمل مشقة السفر لينال بخدمته رتبة القرب منه. So this travel with this horse will help him to bear the difficulties of traveling and also serving the king while remaining close to the king. So he's not interested in the gifts. He's not interested in the gift giving. He's interested only in the gift giver, the king. And he's happy that he has this horse because this horse will allow him to be close to the king and to serve him. وربما يرتقي إلى درجة الوزارة. And perhaps when he's close to the king, eventually he may become a minister. من حيث أنه ليس يقنع بأن يكون محله في قلب الملك أن يعطيه فرسا ويونى به هذا القدر من العناية, because it's possible that the king may not stop simply giving the horse, but he may continue even giving the ministry to him. بل هو طالب لئلا ينعم الملك بشيء من ماله على أحد إلا بواسطته. He may even think about becoming like somebody. The king distributes his gifts through him alone, through his mediation. ثم إنه ليس يريد من الوزارة أيضا. But when he considers these things, he doesn't want the ministry for the sake of ministry. بل يريد مشاهدة الملك والقرب منه. He considers to be minister simply because to get to see the king more and to be close to him, not for the sake of becoming a minister. So becoming a minister is not his goal. Ministry is not his concern. حتى لو خير بين القرب دون الوزارة وبين الوزارة دون القرب لاختار القرب. To the extent that if he's given the choice, okay, you want being a minister but away from the king, or you become close to the king but not becoming a minister, he would choose to be close to the king without becoming a minister. So فهذه ثلاثة درجات. So these are three levels. So when someone, like let's say there are, the king gives the horse to three people. One is happy because the horse is so nice. The other is happy because it's given by the king. The one who gave the gift, really very important person. And the third one, he doesn't care about the horse. He cares about being close to the king. So these are three perspectives to the gifts, to the blessings that you have. So these, like one blessing makes people happy for different reasons. One gift from Allah Ta'ala makes people happy for different reasons. So that's why Imam Ghazali said in the beginning, as you remember, before he gave this example, the condition for farah, with the gift should be for the sake of the al-mun'im, the gift giver. The gift giver, which is who is Allah Ta'ala. So the farah, the joy, the happiness, the contentment must come from the fact that these are gifts coming to me from Allah Ta'ala. So this is what makes you happy. فالأولى لا يدخل فيها معنى الشكر أصلا. The first person who is happy with the horse, this is not shukr. لأن نظر صاحبها مقصور على الفرس, because the approach or the thinking of the first perspective is exclusively focused on the horse. وفرحه بالفرس لا بالمعطي. So his happiness comes from the horse, not from the one who gave him the horse. وهذا حال كل من فرح بنعمة من حيث إنها لذيذة وموافقة من غرضه. This is the state of people who are happy with the gifts given to them by Allah Ta'ala, because it's delicious and they are compatible with their purpose. فهو بعيد عن معنى الشكر. So this is completely disconnected from the meaning of shukr. والثانية داخلة في معنى الشكر. the second approach, the second perspective is within the domain of shukr من حيث إنه فرح بالمنعم, because that person is happy with the gift giver. ولكن لا من حيث ذاته, but not because of his own, بل من حيث معرفة عنايته التي تستحثه على الإنعام في المستقبل, but for some exterior reason that in the future he may also give him more things, you know. So this instrumental perspective. وهذا حال الصالحين الذين يعبدون الله ويشكرونه خوفا من عقابه ورجاء لثوابه. So this is similar to the pious people who worship Allah Ta'ala with the hope that they will get rewards from Allah Ta'ala and they will be saved from any punishment from Allah Ta'ala. So they don't worship Allah Ta'ala because He's Allah alone. You know, they worship to get rewards or to get saved from punishment. وإنما الشكر التام في الفرح الثالث. But the true shukr is in the third perspective. وهو أن يكون فرح العبد بنعمة الله. And this is من حيث إنه يقدر بها على التواصل إلى القرب منه تعالى والنزول في جواره والنظر إلى وجهه على الدوام. You know, he is happy with this gift given to him by Allah Ta'ala because this gift will enable him to come closer to Allah Ta'ala and to witness his face in the hereafter constantly. So he's interested in al-mun'im, and this gift that's given to him will help him get closer to him. فهذا هو الرتبة العليا. So that's the highest level. وأمارته أن لا يفرح من الدنيا إلا بما هو مزرعة الآخرة ويعونه عليها. And the sign of it, like how do you know whether you are the first person or the second person or the third person? The sign of it is that if you are happy with what you have, when they help you, build your akhirah, get closer to Allah Ta'ala, and use this world as the farm to plant things and to sow them in the hereafter, so instrumentalization of the world, see this world as an instrument, ويحزن بكل نعمة تلهيه عن ذكر الله تعالى وتصده عن سبيله, and to feel sad, upset with every gift that may take his attention away from remembering Allah Ta'ala and turning him away from the straight path, to be upset, to be sad with this. So he doesn't care about the gift itself, the blessing itself, the property itself. He wants to benefit from it to get closer to Allah Ta'ala. So his ultimate goal is Allah, not the horse. لأنه ليس يريد النعمة لأنها لذيذة. So he doesn't want the gift because it's delicious. كما لم يريد صاحب الفرس الفرس. This is similar to the owner of the horse who is given the horse, who did not want the horse for its own sake. لأنه جواد ومهملج, because it runs very fast. بل من حيث إنه يحمله في صحبة الملك حتى تدوم مشاهدته له وقربه منه. So he liked the horse because it would facilitate for him to be close to the king and to see the king all the time. ولذلك قال الشبلي رحمه الله, this is the reason why Imam Shibli said, الشكر رؤية المنعم لا رؤية النعمة. Real gratitude is seeing the gift giver but not the gift. This is real shukr. الشكر رؤية المنعم. The real gratitude, the real thankfulness to Allah Ta'ala is, seeing the one who gave you the gifts, but not focusing exclusively on the gifts themselves. وقال الخواص شكر العامة على المطعم والملبس والمشرب. So the gratitude or the thankfulness of the common people is for food, clothing, or drinks. بشكر الخاصة على واردات القلوب. And the gratitude of the khawas, the high-level people, is what comes to their heart from inspirations. They value the good ideas, good inspirations that come to their heart more than mat'am, malbas, mashrab. So these are the different levels. وهذه رتبة لا يدركها كل من انحصرت عنده اللذات في البطن والفرج ومدركات الحواس من الألوان والأصوات وخلى عن لذة القلب. So this is a level people whose focus is limited only to the pleasures of the stomach or sex or what's accessible through five sense perception by like colors or the like a voice like music and and away from the pleasures of the heart. So they wouldn't be they like people who are limited, with these things. They will not understand that kind of level. فإن القلب لا يتلذذ في حال الصحة إلا بذكر الله تعالى ومعرفة لقائه, because a healthy heart does not enjoy anything except dhikr of Allah and knowledge of Allah and being together with Allah Ta'ala. So this is what a healthy heart enjoys. But ill heart enjoys mat'am, malbas, mashrab, all these things. وإنما يتلذذ بغيره إذا مرضى. But when the heart gets ill, then it starts enjoying like all these other things. بسوء العادات كما يتلذذ بعض الناس بأكل الطين. This is similar to some people enjoying eating mud. وكما يستشاع بعض المرضى الأشياء الحلوة ويستحلي الأشياء المرة. And also some ill people, they dislike some good things, delicious things, but they like some sour and bad taste things. Why? Because they are ill. كما قيل, and this is what's said in this poem, ومن يكو ذا فم مر مريد يجد مرا به الماء الزلال. The one who has a ill mouth, the one who has illness in his mouth, he will find the sweet water bitter. Okay, let's move on. فإذا therefore هذا شرط الفرح بنعمة الله تعالى. So this is a prerequisite, to feel joy with the ni'mat of Allah Ta'ala, so that it can be counted as shukr. فَإِنْ لَمْ تَكُنْ إِبْلٌ فَمِعْزَى. So, one should not think I should get a camel as a gift. Otherwise, the one who gives a gift is a stingy person. So focus should not be on the gift itself. The focus should be on the gift giver. Otherwise, if to focus on the gift, then okay. If the person gives me a big gift, then he's generous. Otherwise, he's stingy. فإن لم يكن هذا, if this is not so, فالدرجة الثانية, then it becomes the second level. أما الأولى فخارجة عن كل حساب. So the first one, which is being happy with the horse, with the ni'mat, disregarding the mun'im, it is not counted at all. فكم من فرق بين من يريد الملك للفرس ومن يريد الفرس للملك. How big is the difference between two persons? One wants to be close to king to get the horse. The other wants the horse to be close to the king. How big is the difference between the two? وكم من فرق بين من يريد الله لينعم عليه وبين من يريد النعم الله ليصل بها إليها. And also, how big is the difference between two persons? One wants Allah so that he can give him more blessings, more bounties, more gifts. And the other one who wants gifts, blessings, means so that he can get closer to Allah Ta'ala. Jazakumullah khairan. So inshallah we stop here. And if Allah Ta'ala gives us good health, time and life, we continue next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Fi amanillah.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Hojam.
Alaikum salam.
Alayhi salam.